Disenchantment is an ironic animated fantasy show about a hard-drinking 19-year-old princess struggling to find herself in a medieval kingdom that looks an awful lot like Trump's America.
Netflix is trying to appeal to every demographic.
Disenchantment's by Matt Groening.
I mean, straight needs to
We
move
thought we knew what we were doing.
Disenchantment is feminism for men?
Do you feel good about saying that? No. You think it feels good to identify with the bad guys? Bad guys? Is that what you think men are? Is that what you think this show says? I think the show only works because enough men have figured out that you don't. Disenchantment is feminism men can handle.
Are you saying I'm some kind of hero?
Because right now, we need that. Prove it. Men want fantasy with strong women.
Fantasy works. 18 of the top 50 highest grossing films ever have been fantasy. And on TV, we got Game of Thrones, the closest we're gonna get to water cooler television. And as for fantasy starring women, Disney has been killing it. I'm talking Tangled, Brave, Frozen. We want to see medieval women kicking butt.
Because men know, in real life, women are having a hard time.
And there's this growing awareness that women don't have it great. I mean, you got Trump. Don't know if you've heard him, but he said some demeaning stuff.
I had the dogs lick me clean twice.
There's Emma Watson's really moving pro-feminist campaign.
This has to stop.
Hashtag Me Too with all these women coming forward. There's a consciousness that women's struggles are not over. We see that women have it bad. And so we want to see a heroine break all the rules and make it on her own, because we can see the system now. And we don't know what to do about it.
You're telling me men are selfless sympathizers who just want to show where women's problems get fixed? No. Feminism isn't just about women, man.
You're gonna have to seriously back that one up, man.
Disenchantment doesn't do any more with Beam than the Shrek saga did with Princess Fiona. But feminism is about destroying the rules and binaries of the patriarchy. And the patriarchy damages everyone, not just women. Catherine Sender talks about it here.
Yes, it doesn't just damage women. There's a whole spectrum of genders that are getting...
Patriarchy hurts men too. Can any of you say you've never wished you were bigger, stronger, meaner, smart but not too smart, handsome but not too cute? We're saying it's bad for men. And Disenchantment speaks to that. The elf who no one will take seriously because he's small and meek.
Could you ever go out with a guy who's dinky?
The cool guy demon who's unable to face his feelings.
If this is sadness, I don't like it one bit.
The callous, blustery king who's lost and heartbroken with no one to take care of him.
There.
The marauding giant who's a sensitive philosopher.
For God's sake, I'm a grad student!
The beefy griffin who identifies as female.
The lost female of my kind.
The ugly witch who's helpful and kind.
Please, call me Gwen.
The gorgeous, long-lost mother who's straight up evil. And the virginal princess who's an alcoholic cartjacker.
I just love driving.
So you think Disenchantment offers some alternative to so-called gender roles? You are causing people pain, and this show, it's an escape to a world where your rules don't apply.
She can fight her own battles. She's 12 feet tall.
Where the physically mighty men lose out.
Oh, why did I behead everyone with a medical license?
Bin, grab my hand. As your future husband, I command it.
Look at you. You're just a coward like every other guy except that one over there with his head in a bucket.
This is why you're still single.
And it's only when they connect to their emotions that any man succeeds.
I'm terrified of female emotions, and I didn't want you to feel guilty.
What's this weird feeling I don't want to drink away?
That's hope. That's hope!
Beautiful analysis. But I'd say your friends disagree.
A prime example of a post-feminist heroine. Paraphrasing Rosalind Gill, post-feminist stories position their women as isolated from any greater feminist movement. Their struggle is the result of individual circumstances only, not society at large, and their problems solvable if they just take personal responsibility.
I know I went a tad wild, but what do you expect from someone who's got no control over her own destiny?
A delicate flower like yourself has no place support. Good point.
It's a safe, uplifting narrative for Matt Groening's main audience. People are bananas.
I watch TV. online, but like streaming services are all super expensive, 10 or 15 bucks a month, and so I can only get one.
For TV networks, including internet ones, audience is a product, a commodity. You got to hunt it, grow it, capture it, and feed it. If you're a streaming company and you have no bananas, you've got no juice.
Are you paraphrasing the Eileen Mean article, Gendering the Commodity Audience?
Yes, but it makes more sense with bananas. Now, you can specialize, going only for those bananas who like expensive shows with nudity. Or you can be the network that goes for every single banana.
All hands, brace for mermaids!
But at the end of the day, Disenchantment is on Netflix so that Netflix can keep juicing their bananas and make sure those bananas don't go in search of greener pastures.
It's an attempt to cash in on the feminist zeitgeist with a strong female character who barely talks to other women, is abusive towards her friends, and whose body keeps getting put on display. It is a regressive, weak-ass image of femininity, and it adds nothing to the cultural discourse.
So much for men needing feminism. It sounds like the show's there because Netflix needs money. I mean, yeah, Disenchantment's audience is
Straight white men. And so Disenchantment, and whatever feminism it contains, represents how woke straight white guys are.
But there is feminism there. Post-feminism, where, as Rosalind Gill says, the body is presented simultaneously as women's source of power and as always unruly, requiring discipline. No! Being success or lack thereof has nothing to do with her body, because her struggle is for friendship. She's trying to find herself and the people she wants to hang out with. At the beginning of the season, she has neither.
I'm supposed to be surrounded by people I like.
I was just trying to control you.
And by the end, we realize just how far she has to go to get both.
You're never gonna be whole until you figure out who you really are.
We are a team.
Elfo and I had only been friends for a few months, but they really were the best months of my life.
Disenchantment is much closer to the feminism Levine describes, invested in collective feminist activism.
Guys, do you think we should do this?
Women gotta support women. Crime is male dominated, innit?
Can't be that many opportunities for older women who like to cackle.
Being is strongest not when she denies the group, but when she is with her friends.
Elfo, you came back. We're together again. Nothing can stop us now.
Throw me the bottle, I'll throw you the elf. No! You haven't defeated me yet. Now you have!
It's a fairy tale. And you don't read your kids fairy tales so they go out in the street with a sword looking for monsters. You read them fairy tales so they learn about right and wrong, good, overcoming evil, courage, even in the face of fear.
I saved your life, now I can go back to ruining it.
And so it shows men who for too long have been fed your lies. Man up. Stop feeling. You want love? Love is weak. The emotion you should elicit in others is admiration or fear. Disenchantment shows them that success comes only when we work together.
God, what are they marinating you in, man?
We need each other. Really? Disenchantment acknowledges men's acknowledgement of women's less than equal status.
After my mom died, I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, really.
But it erases any recognition of the system that perpetuates that inequality and therefore absolves its male audience of any culpability in said system. Sounds like Dow's critique of the show Ellen's erasure of LGBTQ struggles. Disenchantment also makes us like characters, not issues.
Are you saying guys can root for Bean without thinking about our responsibility for real-life gender inequality?
Yeah, it's oversimplified. It's a comedy.
And so we go back to The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, created by and forever associated with Matt Groening, revolutionizes American comedy and creates a new genre and a set of audience bananas to go along with it. That audience makes space for huge commercial successes like Beavis and Butthead, South Park, Family Guy, and Futurama.
And Matt Groening becomes a legend. Fast forward.
Animated satire is a staple of the internet, and Netflix is losing its animated satires left, right, and center. All it's going to have left is BoJack Horseman and a couple of smaller fry.
And here's the genre grandfather, out of nowhere, looking to make a fantasy show.
If Disenchantment's getting made, Netflix can't say no. They cannot let Hulu or Amazon have the next Simpsons.
Men need the feminism that Disenchantment is selling.
Nobody calls me Tia Beanie except my best friends and my worst enemies.
Just look around. There's bad guys, and the system's backing them up. Trump, Weinstein, Kavanaugh. I mean, you know things used to be bad, right? When women couldn't vote or work or have an abortion. But since the 80s, it's been pretty good. But now it's not.
Well, let's see if anyone's buying it. IndieWire. The jokes are stale. The plot is predictable. The execution is rarely inspired. Vulture. Never fully engages with the genre it's riffing on. Doesn't seem interested in wrestling with tropes or anything too deep. Doesn't sound like your man feminism is hitting home. From Reddit. Futurama, Simpsons, Game of Thrones, feminism, paste it all together and you got this lazy Franken show. We have no feel for who Bean is at all, and it's hard to appreciate humor when you aren't certain what the hell a person is about. Those are not glowing recommendations. Unlike the Star Trek fans Constance Penley interviewed, nobody is writing Disenchantment fan fiction. They do not identify with either the characters or the universe. I thought this would be a feminist show that resonates with men.
And now you get bupkis!
Don't feel bad. You've always got me.